Okay, guys, section 1.2. I wrote -1 because there's going to be 2 videos on this section. Okay, and this is all over linear and rational equations. So I'm just going to warm up with a linear equation. If you remember, linear means that all of these x's right here are to the first power. Okay, and we have strategies for different types of equations. And if you remember linear equations, the strategy is get the x by itself. Now, before that, we're probably going to have to do some distributions, combine some like terms, but that's your strategy for a linear equation. So looking at this linear equation, okay, the first thing that I'm noticing is I should go through and distribute this negative sign, okay? So let me do that. Let me just rewrite this. This is now going to be 2 minus 7x minus 5 is equal to 13 minus 3x right here, okay? I have some like terms on the left-hand side. I have a positive 2 and a negative 5. So that should be negative 3, right? From the 2 and the negative 5 minus 7x equals 13 minus 3x. So we're right here now, okay? Now that I've combined all like terms on each side, now I can start moving around the x's, okay? So how can I do that? Well, there's 2 different ways I can do it. I can move the negative 7x or the negative 3x. I'm going to get rid of the negative 7x on this side. And remember what the rule is. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, okay? So what happens? These cancel. I get negative 3 is equal to 13 plus 4x, okay? From here, I want to get the x by itself. I should start by taking away 13 from both sides. Remember, we usually do the order of operations in, it's sort of like a reversal of the order of operations when we try to get back to the x. The other way I like to explain it is start further away from the x, okay? So subtract off the 13 rather than dividing everything by 4 first. That's generally going to make your life easier. So I have negative 16 is equal to 4x. And of course, divide both sides by 4. You have to undo the multiplication by 4 to the x. And finally, x is equal to negative 4. Okay? Now, you can also check this, which is nice, by plugging it in. So I'm going to check by plugging negative 4 into x right here. So 2 minus 7 times negative 4 plus 5 is equal to 13 minus 3 times negative 4. That's the question. That's what I'm going to check. Well, this is 2 minus negative 28 plus 5. And I want to know if it's equal to 13. This is going to be minus a negative, so plus 12. 25 equal to, let's see, 2 minus, looks like this is going to be a negative 23. What's 2 minus negative 23? Oh, that's 2 plus positive 23. So 25 equals 25. Hey, that checks out. Awesome. Okay, you don't have to check them, but why not, especially if it's an exam? Okay. I want to look at one more in this video, and that's number 26. Number 26 is a rational equation, okay? And all rational means is, hey, there's fractions, okay? And there's a few different ways to deal with this, but my personal favorite way is to identify something called the LCD, or the least common denominator. And just to refresh you, for the LCD, you want to look at all of your denominators, and you want to ask yourself, what is the smallest number they all go into evenly, okay? 6 will not work. 3 and 6 go into 6, but 4 doesn't go into 6. 8 doesn't work. 4 goes into 8, but 6 and 3 don't. What you may see here is 12. 4, 8, 12, 6, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. That is your LCD. So what good is the LCD? Well, it turns out if you multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD, your fractions will go away every time. Okay. Now, why am I writing everything over 1? When I distribute here, I don't want to accidentally multiply 12 to the 4. I see a lot of students do that. That's why they usually write the 1 right there. Okay. And then here, I'll have to distribute twice. okay? And I'm going to refrain from multiplying the 12 through. It's going to save me a little time. You can, but it's a little more work. So let me show you how I would do this, okay? So if I do the distributions, the first distribution here is this, right? I have 12 times this x plus 1 all over 4, okay? Now, why is this good? Well, this is 12 times the value of x plus 1, which means I know that this is going to reduce to a 3. I can do that because that's multiplication. If that was addition, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's why I don't multiply the 12 through, okay? Now, what do I got? I have 12 times 1, that's 12, over 1 times 6 is 6. We can see that'll reduce. Plus 12 times 2 minus x over 3, and I have more things reducing. 12 over 3 reduces to a 4. And maybe I should go ahead, let me write it up here. I don't want to confuse anyone, okay? And 12 over 6 reduces to a 2. So all said and done, once we've done that, I'm left here. And voila, no more fractions, okay? Now it's just a regular linear equation, and that's not too hard to solve. And I'm just going through, I'm just distributing and combining any like terms. Okay, so I'm to here now, okay? Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'll add 4x to both sides to get my x's together. So I'm ending up right here. Subtract 3 from both sides. So 7x equals 7. Okay. And finally, divide both sides by 7, just like so. And we see x is equal to 1. You can go ahead and check that. And that's the first video. I got one more coming up.